Welcome back. You're watching First Up, and let's get you details this morning of our big story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Japan. 40 hours, 23 meetings. This will be the Prime Minister's agenda for his whirlwind tour of Tokyo. Prime Minister Modi kick-started the trip with a rousing welcome from the Indian diaspora, along with interactions with several kids, both Indian nationals as well as Japanese students. A meeting with the Indian business community also took place. Prime Minister Modi is in Japan for a 2-day visit. He is going to be holding bilateral talks with the heads of states. He will also attend to the second in-person Quad summit with his US, Japan and Australian counterparts. Prime Minister Modi will also be holding community and diplomatic engagements. He'll hold bilateral talks with heads of state on varied topics, from the China challenge in the Indo-Pacific to the aftermath of the war in Ukraine. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's power-packed schedule will be followed by that extremely crucial Quad summit and one-on-one talks with Biden, with the Japanese Prime Minister Kishida and with the newly elected Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on day one.
वाह वाह
पांचवी कक्षा में पढ़ता हूँ जापान में आपका बहुत स्वागत है
वाह वाह
May I have your signature please? May I have your signature please?
तो कहाँ से सीख लिया तुमने हिंदी? हैं?
Yes, I learned.
हैं? बहुत अच्छा जानते हो? वाह वाह। और जापानी में क्या लिखा है?
Same here. Same.
ये
हिंदी में
3 भाषा लिख दिया।
मोदी जी
कैसा लग रहा है? बढ़िया मोदी। अच्छा लग रहा है, हम बहुत खुश हैं। मोदी जी से क्या उम्मीदें हैं जापान और इंडिया के रिलेशंस को लेकर?
It's going to be high. जय स्वामीनारायण, जय स्वामीनारायण।
हमारे मोदी जैसा कोई नहीं और जापान से रिलेशन बहुत अच्छा है। मोदी मोदी मोदी। आप यहाँ पर कब से हैं जापान में?
20 साल से।
20 साल से है। और आपने रिलेशंस में क्या फर्क देखा है?
बहुत बड़ा फर्क देखा है। इंटरनेशनल सीन पे मोदी जी ने भारत का जो नाम बढ़ाया है और काफ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है।
You saw Prime Minister Modi. What are your expectations from this visit and Indo-Japan relations? You've been here for a while. Have you been living in Japan for a while?
We have been living here for more than 12 years.
8 years. Yeah.
And I would say the expectations, we are on I would say we have a lot of expectations. Yeah. So the relation is getting strengthened and strengthened. And the Indian-Japan relationship, not only it's getting limited, I'm saying it is going beyond limitation. Yeah, so we are really thrilled. Okay, we are very thrilled, and we are just I'm unable to say like what to say.
इस बार मोदी जी ने सबसे हाथ मिलाया है, इस तरफ भी गए हैं, उस तरफ भी गए हैं, छोटी बच्चों से नाम पूछा है और दिल उनसे मिलके बहुत खुश हो जाता है। हमारे तेजस्वी यशस्वी मोदी जी को देख के पूरा एक एनर्जी सी मिल जाती है। ऐसा लगता है हम अपने भारत के लिए बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। एक हमारी जान भी उनके साथ बिल्कुल तैयार है।
और ये नारा क्या है?
जो 73 हटाए हैं वो टोक्यो आए हैं।
ये नारा लगाया आप लोग?
हाँ, आज कई बार वो मोदी जी जो टोक्यो आए हैं, हमेशा इतना प्यार देते हैं। वो यहाँ के लोग भी उन्हें इतना प्यार देते हैं, उन्हें ऐसा लगता है अपने दूसरे घर आए हैं।
जो राम को लाए हैं वो टोक्यो आए हैं, जो काशी सजाए हैं वो टोक्यो आए हैं, जो 370 हटाए हैं।
दलबंदी भी सबसे मिल पाए।
हाँ लोग उस पाए, हम लोगों ने शेक हैंड भी किया उन्हें।
उनको मोदी जी को लाना हम लोग को। जो राम को लाए हैं वो भारत से जापान आए हैं, जो राम को लाए हैं वो जापान आए हैं, जो राम को लाए हैं वो जापान आए हैं, जो कसाई सजाए हैं वो जापान आए हैं,
जो 370 हटाए हैं वो टोक्यो आए हैं,
जो काशी को सजाए हैं वो टोक्यो आए हैं, जो काशी को सजाए हैं वो टोक्यो आए हैं।
Prime Minister Modi is in Tokyo, and according him, a welcome in Tokyo were these children from
a global Indian institution where there are, of course, some of them Japanese, in fact, who are learning Hindi as well, Indian students as well, who were there, in fact, bearing these placards, writing down poems as well, welcoming the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, of course, had a very interesting interaction with Ritsuki. Ritsuki, can you tell us what you told the Prime Minister?
I said 3 sentences. मेरा नाम रित्सुकी है. मैं ग्लोबल इंडियन इंटरनेशनल स्कूल के 5वीं कक्षा में पढ़ता हूँ. जापान में आपका बहुत स्वागत है. धन्यवाद.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You speak a lot of Hindi. You're fluent with Hindi.
No, I have prepared those 3 lines only.
Okay, but do you study Hindi? Are you studying Hindi? Okay. Do you like the language?
Yeah, I wish to get better, but I need more practice for that.
All right, let's take this across now to Poulami Saha. She's joining us live from Tokyo. Poulami, we just played out an excerpt of the conversation that you had with that Japanese kid who had a chance to also speak to Prime Minister Modi. And I think the fact that he could also speak in Hindi pretty much sums up the cultural ties that India and Japan also enjoy, which is what also puts the focus so much on the Prime Minister's 2-day visit to Tokyo. But beyond Indo-Japan ties, there's a lot more also in focus because of the Quad Summit.
Oh, absolutely. You know, today, of course, as far as the interaction is concerned and the Prime Minister's engagements are concerned, they're more business-centric. But earlier this morning, of course, you saw the welcome which was accorded to Prime Minister Modi by those children as well, some of them Japanese. And it's very interesting. Like you said, it's all about the cultural ties. Only 40,000 Indian citizens who are, in fact, residing in Japan, but already they're so well assimilated into Japanese culture. We've been speaking with them, many of them living here for at least more than 2 decades. And, you know, they've assimilated into Japanese culture, and the Japanese are very receptive of the Indian culture as well, want to learn Hindi, want to learn yoga. There's a lot of intercultural exchange that is happening. Prime Minister Modi, of course, will this afternoon engage in business conversations. He will have one-on-one meetings with the CEOs of SoftBank Group, of Uniqlo, of NEC. He will be, of course, meeting with Suzuki Motor Corporation CEO as well. And after that, he'll have a roundtable with a Japanese business delegation. So 36 Japanese business delegates who will be interacting with Prime Minister Modi. So big focus on the investments that Japan is bringing into the private and the public-private partnership sector in India, already having committed 5 trillion yen. And then, of course, the big focus will be the Indo-Pacific economic framework, which will be launched by US President Joe Biden, that Prime Minister Modi will also be attending. The evening, of course, culminates with a cultural program where the Indian community will, of course, be holding a reception for Prime Minister Modi as he, of course, visits Tokyo. The focus, of course, tomorrow will shift entirely to the Quad and the Quad Summit that the 4 leaders will be attending, including, of course, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, who's, of course, the host for this summit, Akshata.
Okay, Poulami, for the moment, thank you for joining us. We're going to keep, of course, coming across to you through the day for all the highlights of the Prime Minister's visit.